Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Planet for Tech. I hope you all are doing great and learning lots by watching all the continuous episode of this series Laravel Beginner to Master. So guys, till now we have completed total 8 episode of this series and today I am going to describe you some new topics in the episode 9. So in the episode 9 I am going to describe you helper functions in Laravel 9. What these helper functions are, how we can use it and what mostly used helper functions which are being provided by the Laravel 9. So guys, be in touch and just watch this video till the end so that you can have the sufficient knowledge about what these helper functions are. So let me start this right now. So guys, in this episode we are going to understand 3 points. The first point is what is helper function? Why any function is called as helper function in any particular programming language? And after that, we are going to understand how to create custom helper function in the Laravel 9 and what are those useful helper functions which are already being provided by the Laravel 9. So these all we are going to understand one by one. So let's start by the first point, the what is helper function. So guys, helper function means let's suppose you have some methods and you want to call that method anywhere irrespective of the context, like it is from controller, from model, from views or any library. So in a whole application, if you want to call it from everywhere, so that time you need some kind of global methods, global functions that is available everywhere in the whole applications. So those functions are called as the helper function. So one thing you have to understand here, these functions, let me write here, these functions, let me mark it bold so that you can differentiate. So this is the answer. These are the functions globally available to whole application. So these are the specific functions which are globally available to whole application. Doesn't matter you are calling this function from the controller, from the model, from the views, or from any other libraries. So this function will be available globally everywhere. So this is the answer for the first topic, what is helper function. Now, so these are the normal PHP function. So you can mention it. These are normal PHP functions. Means there is no any specific code need to write just to make any function as a helper function. The due to this due to its nature it is called as helper function because it is helping you everywhere in the whole application. Now let's see the next point, that is how to create custom helper function in Laravel. So to create the custom helper function in Laravel, we just need to create one helper file and we have to register that helper file in composer.json. So let me write it here. Simply, let me make it create any helper.php file and register this file in composer.json. Once you have registered, then after you have to load your composer once again because everywhere you are doing any changes in the composer.json, so you have to update your composer auto load file. Once you done the changes in composer.json, you need to update auto uploaded files. So for this, let me write it. For this, use below command. So that command is nothing but php it is not PHP, it is composer dump autoload. So this command, guys, you have to run once it is you have done the changes in composer. So after that, you have to run this command. So let me show you it practically. Let me start the VS Code. So this VS Code I have started, guys. Now I am going to create one helper file. So let me create that one folder inside this app folder. Inside this app folder, I am going to create one folder. So that folder I am going to name it helper. Helper. Let me make H capital. It is not required to make it capital or lowercase. It is up to you like what you want to make it. So here I have created one helper folder. Inside this helper folder, I am going to create one file that is app underscore helpers.php. So in this app helpers.php, as I have told you, we have to create simple PHP file, and inside that we have to write some normal PHP method PHP function. So I am going to write it right now. So you can see I am going to write one function. So current date. So this is just for demonstration, guys, so you can write any function whatever you want. So as I have told you, this is normal PHP function, so you have to keep all the function name in a lowercase with the underscore separated, because this is the standard way to write the helper function in PHP. So I have written like this. So it is going to print the current date. This is just for demonstration. Whatever business logic you want, you can write it. So current date I am going to show, and time also. So this way, guys, you can see this function is going to print the current date and time. So in the notes you can see here, simply we have to create one helper file, so that I have done. After that we have to register that in the composer.json. So I am going to register this file in the composer.json. Let me open composer.json, composer.json. So in the composer.json, you will find one block. You can see this is the name and type. In the same way, you will find one block that is auto load block. Can you see here? So this is the auto load block. In this block, you have to register this helper file. Then only it will work, otherwise not. So I'm going to add one more entry here. So that entry is only for files. So in the files, I am going to write it there. So as there might be more than one file, so I am going to create one array here. So in this array, I am going to add that entry. So that file is where that file is inside the app. There is one folder, helper, and in that folder we have created the file app underscore helpers.php. So this way, guys, you have to register the function file helper file here, and once it is registered, then you can see here, once it is registered, then you have to update the composer autoload file. So for that we need to run this command. I'm going to run this command there. So that command is nothing but composer dump autoload. So you can see here, once you will execute this command, you will see this message generating optimized autoload files. So guys, you can see here, it is optimized and it has generated the autoload files. Now let me start our PHP application, PHP artisan serve. So this one is started, and I am going to call that method here in this file welcome file itself, so that you can see here because as I have told you, this is the helper function, so we can call it from everywhere. Doesn't matter we are calling it from view, model or the controller. So I am going to show you this method by calling it from the view itself. So we have one view, that is the welcome view. You can see here in the resources folder. Under the resources we have views, and this is the welcome folder. And let me remove other line of code and simply let me write h1 demo of helper function. After this I am going to call that. So this is the blade syntax. So inside the double curly braces we have to call that method. So I have called it, and let me make today's date time like this. So we can see there it is working or not. So guys, you can see here it is showing right now. This is 26th November, and that timing it is showing here. So this way you can call it everywhere, wherever you want. So I have shown you by calling it here in the function, mod view file, and you can call it everywhere in the model and the controller as well. So it will work similarly there. So this way, guys, we can define the custom helper function in Laravel. Now we are going to understand the most important part of this episode, that is the just to have the knowledge about what predefined functions are available in Laravel 9 as a helper function, and how those are useful to achieve to work in our project. Just have a patience, and I'm going to describe those set of methods one by one, and I will list those methods here. There are lots of methods, but I'm going to describe you those methods which are being frequently used in a project. So those I'm going to describe you one by one. So the first method I'm going to describe you is the you can say storage path. So what this method does? So this method basically returns us the storage folder path. Storage folder path. So guys, you might have seen like there are some storage folder in the application in the Laravel project. I am going to show you. So there is one storage folder. Can you see here? So this is the storage folder. So the complete path of this storage folder we are going to have. So for that we want the storage path helper. So the same helper I'm going to use in the routes in the view file, because this is the helper, so we can call it from everywhere. So let me show you it by calling it. So I'm going to write one storage path equals to, you can consider it like this, storage path. So let me run it and see what it is returning. So guys, can you see here? It is returning me the path of the storage folder. And if you want any particular folder of that storage directory, so how we can do it? Let me zoom it. So you can see here it is showing the complete physical path of that relative path, not relative, absolute path it is returning. So if I want to have the path of you can say this framework folder, so I need to pass the name of the folder, framework. So it will give you the complete path, you can see here. So this way, guys, you have to use this storage path just to get the complete path of that particular folder which is available in the storage folder, storage directory. So this storage directory is basically used for the purpose of storing some session files, and for uploading some media files. So for that purpose we use this path. And the next function we are going to understand is public underscore path. So this function will give you the complete path of public folder. So let me show you. So guys, you can see here we have this public folder here. So for this public folder path, what we need? So we need to pass only here. Instead of storage, we have to pass public. So it will give us the complete path of the public folder. You can see here. So it is giving you the complete path of the public folder. So this way, if you want to have the path of any particular subdirectory, so you can pass the name of that subdirectory as well. Paytm, I am going to pass it. So it will return the complete path there with the Paytm folder. So this is the complete path for that. So so far we have understood two methods, storage path and the public path. Now I am going to describe you another helper method. So the next helper method we are going to understand config. So what this method does, so it returns the config file values. So guys, we know like there are lots of config files available inside, you can see there are lots of config file available in the config folder here. So in the config folder, there are lots of file. You can see view.php, session.php, app.php. But there is one similarity. So that similarity is what? Every config file is having one single array. Let me show you. Like here you can see this app.php is having one array. It is returning the complete array. So in this array there might be lots of key. So the key is name and other key environment, other key debug. So this way there are lots of key available in the app.php in a single array. So again there is a one auth.php. So again it is going to have a single array. So every file is returning one array here. So once we load this Laravel project, what it does, it basically combine all these array of these config files and put all those values, all these key of that array in a single file, and that file is being loaded here in the Bootstrap cache. Inside this you will find there will be a one config file. So that file is going to have all those key here. So right now it is not showing here because we have not cached the config file. That is what is not showing. If you want to see it, so you have to run one command. That command is nothing but you have to write one artisan command, php artisan view cache. Sorry, it is not view cache, it is config cache. Config cache. Now you can see after running this, so you will find that config, you can see here inside the cache folder, it is showing config.php. So this config.php is going to have all those files you can see here. So now you can see if you want to access this particular key, then how you can access it, because this is the complete whole array and you want to access this particular element. So how you can access it? So definitely this key is inside the app. So that is why we are going to access it with the help of this line app.name. And if you want to access this particular time zone, so how we can access it? App.time zone. So this way guys you have to use it with the config helper method. So let me show you one example here. So this way I'm going to call that app name in the welcome.blade file because it is a helper function, so we can call it everywhere. So I'm going to call it here. So let me make it app name equals to config. So this is the helper function, and inside this we have to pass the key. So that key is app.name. So we want app.name. It means this name key is available inside the app config file. So there is one config folder. Inside the config folder, how we can get this line? So to get this line, you have to go inside the config folder. There you will find app.php, and in that app.php you will find the one key, that is the name. So this way it interprets. Let me show you how is it working. Oh, it is not yet started, so let me start it first. You can see here it is showing app name is equals to Laravel. So let me change this app name first. I can change it two ways, from the config file itself or from the environment file. So I'm going to change it from environment file. So right now the app name is Laravel. I'm going to make it some application. So guys, you have to note it. If there is a gap between two words in the environment file, so you have to make it inside double quote, then only it will work, otherwise not. So you can see here it is showing the, see, we have done the changes in the environment file, and we are expecting that changes should reflect here. So it will not, because whenever you are doing the changes in a particular environment file, so you have to generate one config cache file again, because what it is doing, it is reading all this config value from this cached config file. So this cached config file is having the name equals to Laravel. That is why it is showing you the name Laravel there. However, we have the updated name Laravel application here, but it is not showing there in the config.php. So that is why it is showing like that. So let me update this config.php inside the cache folder. So you know, like to generate the updated cache, what we command we need to run? We need to run php artisan config cache. So it will update the existing cache config. So it is updating and going to start the server again. Now you can see here after updating in the config dot, so here it is showing the updated value. So this is the point, guys, you have to make a note whenever you are doing any changes in the .env file. So you have to create, you have to run this php artisan config cache command, then only it will load there, otherwise not. Now we can see here it is working. So it is showing us the latest updated value. So this way, guys, you have to use this config helper, and going to show you another helper method. So another method you can say app path. So it will give you the complete path of app folder. It returns a path of app folder. So this is very simple, and in the same way you can have the path of config folder as well. Config path, so it will return you the path of, returns the path of config folder. So I will upload this complete notes in a Google Drive, and I will share the link in a description of this video. So from there you can download it. So you don't need to worry about that. So it will return the path of the config folder. In the similar way, there are lots of other you can say the path related helper functions. So we can use those here, but these are the frequently used. That is why I have mentioned here. So let me show you some other set of functions. There is one most useful method, that is dd. So this is used just to debug the files, you can say debug the code. So for that purpose we can use it, the dd command there. So let me show you how we can use it there in the dd. It is basically used to show the exception kind of things, and we can use it normal as well. So let me make one array here, and in that I'm going to use the dd. So here I'm going to create one array, and in that array I have few values: Ram, Mohan, Geeta, and I'm going to debug this by dd helper. So I'm going to pass it inside the dd. Now let me show you how it works. Sorry, it is showing some syntax error. Okay, because this is not available inside the PHP, because this is available for the Laravel. So let me make it there. outside it. So you can see here, so this way it shows some information like it is a kind of var dump which is available in PHP. So this is similar to like that. So it is array and having the three elements. These are 0, 1, 2, and these are the values. So where this is written, so it is written where under the resources folder, views folder, there is welcome.play.php. Inside that, this is written. That is why this information it is showing here. So this much uh, helper functions are very frequently used in application development, and there are lots of other helper function also available. So those it is not possible to cover in the single video. So guys, I am going to make one next episode for this same topic, that is the useful Laravel helper function. So in that I am going to cover all those remaining functions, and I will show you the use case of those functions there. So far this for this episode this much guys, and I will bring those important set of helper functions in the next episode, that will be the episode 10. So till that time, just do the practice for these episodes and be tuned, and don't forget to subscribe and share among your friends. And if you have any question guys, so it is again I'm asking you, if you have any questions, so you have to mention in the comment section. So I will check, our team is checking that comments regularly, and we will try you to respond there. So thank you guys, thank you for having patience and watching this complete video. So coming with the next episode in episode 10. So there we will learn about remaining helper function. Thank you much.